come on, no. My topic level is level otakuing.
One of the topics was 장기 기준.
What? See, I don't know. See, I do not know. So, today's topic.
Hello.
Hi, girls. Welcome. So, I'm curious about something. How many languages do y'all speak?
Fluently? Probably none.
No, come on, no.
I would say pretty comfortably 4. So like Indonesian, English, German, Korean.
I would say like around 5. Like I'm German and Hungarian, so I'm a mixed child. Then like English, Korean, and Spanish. Yeah, and then I learned some Duolingo. Like I learned Chinese last semester, but it's kind of hard.
I am from the US, but I'm also from California. We don't all learn, but we have to learn Spanish for a few years, so I did like 4 years of that, and then Japanese when I lived in Japan, and then Korean, and now English, and then Duolingo, probably like 5 other languages for about like 1 week. Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, yeah.
I can communicate pretty fine in Korean, Japanese, English, and Portuguese, which is my native language, and also a very rusty Japanese. I can understand it better than I can put it out now because it's been a while that I don't really speak Japanese, but yeah, well, I can have a okay conversation in Japanese at this point, but I don't know how many Duolingo languages. Many. And girls, how did you learn your languages?
I mean, for Korean, I went to language school for 2 years, 1.5 years-ish. And then like Spanish, I had it in high school, 2 years. And then, English just in school, basically, yeah.
English throughout school, Chinese throughout school, Japanese for 2 years in high school, Germany, because I lived in Germany for 4 years, and then now I'm learning Korean the last 1.5 years, less.
Yeah, I think I said before, 4 years of Spanish, and then 3 years of Japanese, and then I came to Korea in high school, so high school from then, and then, English.
Portuguese, native language, yeah. Spanish, I learned in school, but not all schools in Brazil, they have Spanish, like it's a kind of my school thing. And English, I had it in school. I was really bad at it because English in school is really not enough. Brazilian.
It's very basic.
It's definitely not. Like you end up like leaving high school knowing like, hi, I am Julia, the book is on the table, and that's it.
The book is on the table.
So I went to an English school to learn like a kind of like ohaktang, and for 7 years as well. So Japanese I learned on my own, like when I was otakuing, nerding myself. Also, like I've always been very interested about history. That's how I got into Japan and like Korean history, and then I wanted to learn more about Korean history. Then I decided to come to Korea and learned in a school here as well for like 1.5 years-ish. But most of my Korean kind of got better after I left school and I started leaving here for real, like working and stuff. Girls, what do you think is the most important when you learn new languages?
When you first learn it, then definitely the basic grammar, structure of the sentences and stuff. But when you actually start using it, then speaking.
Agreed.
A lot of people, they can take tests. They can take, like, for example, the German like C2 level or the topic 6 level.
And you still don't know how
And
to
they
say
still
it.
cannot speak with normal people in real life.
That's true. I have one friend, like, not to roast or anything, but like, he has topic level 6, right? But like, he cannot speak. Like, because like, he knows the scheme and he knows how to like take a test and he knows how to answer. But like, when it comes to like, normal conversations, it's not it. So I'm like, how?
I can feel it because I did the same thing for TOEFL exam, for English exam.
I did the same thing for my Japanese.
Yeah. So that's one issue because like technically my topic level is level 2.
Oh, really?
Really? But my speaking level is much higher than that. People would be like, wait, what? I thought you were fluent. I'm like, no.
I feel like if you took topic again, you would have gotten a way higher, maybe 5 or 6.
But to be honest, on topic, like, they talk about so many like unrelevant stuff. Like for real, like when I was in Oktang, like one of the topics was 장기 기준, organ transplantation.
What? See, I don't know. See, I do not know.
So I was like, why do we learn about something like this.
Specialty vocabulary.
Yeah. I feel like languages, for learning a language, really a lot takes the vocabulary. And I don't know the vocabulary. I still don't know how to talk.
You don't know how to talk.
Yeah. It's like I know what I want to say. I know how to do the sentence, but I don't know the words.
There's no like specific word that fits the exact situation.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you can just guess what people mean. You have the nunci.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, today's topic: how U.S. military linguistics learn language.
What is military linguist?
Specialize in learning, translating, and analyzing foreign languages for intelligence and communication. 2. Work in roles like cryptologic linguistics, intercepting foreign communications, or interpreters for special forces. Number 3. Handle high-stakes real-world translation in diplomatic or combat situations.
It's interesting. I want
That
to
is
do
very
it.
interesting.
I thought it would just be like translators working in the government or in the military.
I always assumed people that were mixed and living in the U.S. would do this kind of job and like specific to each language, not someone that spoke all the many languages at one time. I'm sure every military might have this. Yeah.
So if we're talking about histories, like there's so many situations where we see like, oh, okay, so the militaries, they were like discussing and arguing over like a pact or something, and they're like, how did they even understand each other to decide those stuff? Like, that won't make sense. That won't make total sense. Intensive training at the Defense Language Institute, DLI, located in Monterey, California. Oh, your place. The Defense Language Institute Foreign Language Center is the military premier language school. Courses range from 26 to 64 weeks, depending on language difficulty. Students attend 6 to 7 hours of daily instruction with homework, self-study, and language labs. That feels like an ohaktang.
That's a very intense ohaktang.
I wonder what level they get to after the program.
Like if it already says like military, I feel like it has probably some military kind of pace that you like wake up early in the morning, like that you get kind of drilled.
I think that would be way too hard, I guess. Thinking about someone who had military high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Military-based high school, like it's not officially military, but it used to be, so like our whole system is basically like super like strict. I remember our studies, they were very intense on everything, especially when it comes to like the final exam, like for university stuff. Like our school, it was like so focused on the essays. We would have like essays every week, like 3 to 4 times a week, and like mock exams every week from first year of high school.
Did you live on campus?
No, not really. But like, I remember we would study a lot. So like, it would kind of something like this, but at the same time, like, only for language, I think it would be way too much for someone's brain.
All at once.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Category 1 and 2.
Okay, wait, what? They have to learn all of these? Oh, like, okay. Okay, so like, the shortest course would be like category 1 and 2, which would be French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, German, and Indonesian. Indonesian, I get it, because like it's a technical easy language, but Portuguese, you sure about that? That's not a good idea. Category 3, Russian, Hebrew, get it. Hindu, Persian, Punjabi, I guess it's in.
Category 4.
And 4, Arabic, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Pashto?
I think I know why the division is. Category 1 and 2 are languages with the Latin, like ABC. So you don't need to learn, you don't need to learn a new alphabet. Category 3, they all have their own alphabets. Category 4,
that too, and a total different grammar system.
I mean, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, they're all like Chinese roots, and also no alphabet. It all comes with the Hanja. Arabic and Pashto are similar, I think, if Pashto is the Iranian language.
Yeah, it might not be like level of difficulty, but also like the complexity of the language.
Complexity, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys think Korean and Japanese were harder than, well, I guess Hindu, Hebrew, Russian?
Oh yeah, that's true. I started learning Russian and Hindu at some point, but like.
Duolingo?
Yeah. Like, no, not Duolingo. Like
for real.
For real. Honestly, I think that is very American based. Like it feels like it would be for
the
American.
grammar structure?
Yeah. Cause like if it was for a Brazilian, we would probably like categorize differently.
Depending on the person who is learning. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's
like,
why.
But I guess this is because also this is for the U.S. military language. So
I've heard this, but I don't know if it's true. You can tell me if it's true. I heard it's easier for Turkish and Spanish speakers to do the Korean accent.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Is it true?
It is.
Yeah.
Me being a Brazilian, I do have like an easier time speaking Japanese and Korean compared to, for example, even English or German. I cannot do German. Like I have a hard time with I feels like I'm hissing. All the sounds. The only the difficulty, for example, when it comes to Korean would be like the sound. That's it.
Oh yeah.
The sound is hard.
Yeah.
You don't have the
We don't.
How about you for the accent in Korean?
Actually, for me, it was fine. Like thinking of it, like I love talking, so I talk a lot. So even if I don't know the language well, I still try to talk as much as possible. And also I like watch a lot of TV shows and those kind of stuff. So I feel like I kind of got already to know the sound of the language before even knowing the language. So I feel like for me it was not that big of a problem. But for example, when I talk to my parents and I'm like, and they want to know some Korean words, you know, and then they're like, oh, like teach me something, and then like the same, it's the sound, it's really the they don't know because like this sound doesn't exist, so they have really hard time for like this.
But I'm suspicious to say though, because like I have a lot of Brazilian friends learning Korean and they're having a hard time. Okay. Let's see. In FS, in Foreign Service Institute, training to diplomats, military personnel, and intelligence agents of the U.S. government. It is under the U.S. Department of State, and the FSI language program in particular is a world-renowned intensive foreign language training program. Now we're going to compare this one, which is the FSI, to the military system that we were talking about.
Oh, it's two different.
They are two different ways of learning, I guess. Easy language. Haha, interesting. Oh, that's a much shorter time for certain and like much longer time for others.
Step 1, easy language.
Spanish, French, Italian, and Dutch. Dutch? Really?
Because like it's mixed with like English, German, and like everything. So I kind of get that it's easy because like if you know German, I feel
And
like
you know
it's
English,
easier.
then you know Dutch.
Yeah, to know Dutch. Yeah.
And then there will be like approximately 24 weeks from 600 to 750 hours. That is very short. I think
24 weeks
such
is
a short
6
time.
months? 6 months you get to level 2.
Maybe topic 2, maybe topic 1 still.
Yeah. Okay,
Level
level
2, medium difficulty, which would be Russian, Turkish, Thai, Vietnamese, and Hungarian. Hungarian?
Vietnamese in level 2.
German has like 4 cases, you know, for grammatical. And I googled Hungarian and they have 18, and I was like, what?
18?
So after hearing 18 cases, I feel like it's hard.
44 weeks, yeah. That's
So that's only 10 months.
That's still not a lot.
No, you get to level 3
Yeah.
or 4.
And then level 3, difficult language, Arabic, Chinese, Mandarin, Korean, and Japanese. Pretty much the same. We can see why. And 88 weeks. That's much more than the last one. Other training methods, full immersion, some programs, some linguistics to foreign countries, which would make sense. It makes life much easier. Advanced testing, must pass the Defense Language Proficiency Test, and continued education. Even after the graduation, linguists undergo testing and training.
I like that they have immersion programs as well. That's 24 hours.
Oh, whoa! Arabic just sounds and alphabet they learned for a whole month. Only to learn like the sounds and alphabet.
I think it's the sounds are so different from English.
No English policy. I get it up like from a certain point on, because like from the very beginning it's just like it sounds impossible. Like if you don't know the language, how you're supposed to like just figure it out.
Even from level 1, for people who don't know a thing, the teachers teach in Korean 100%. So the first month would probably be like, hey, what the heck is going on? But then you get used to it. And you learn so quick, so much quicker, and also you stop trying to compare
To like translate.
to translate, because some things just you shouldn't be translating.
For me, it was the same in my Oktang. Like from level 1, from the start, we had only Korean, and my teachers didn't even know English. So like even if they wanted to talk to us, like there was no.
It was also because all the students, not all of them speak English.
Yeah.
They were from Russian-speaking country, Chinese-speaking country.
Live immersion. Some programs send students to foreign countries for view tutorial. Yeah, that's nice. Role play and scenarios. Oh, training mimics real-world missions, forcing students to use the language in high-stakes situations.
I think that is the most important one.
You don't have any choice but to speak the language.
Exactly.
And it's good practice because they need to be able to do that for their actual work, because it's always in high-stakes situations in the military.
That's what I always tell my friends who are learning or they come here into Korea. Like, just put yourself into situations where you're gonna have to say it, because that's gonna make you say it. That's how you're gonna learn. Oh, but I struggle. I feel so embarrassed. Don't be. You're a baby in that language. Just accept it. Everybody begins like as a baby.
But that's why it's a lot easier to be forced to do things in situations rather than taking like the step to do it.
Especially like in Oktang, I feel like in Korean like teaching system is like very not focused on that they are trying to like do scenarios that they try to make you speak. I had like Spanish also last semester in like university, and I already learned Spanish in Germany like for 2 years. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get some extra credits. But the way the teachers taught like Spanish was so different. Like Koreans really, they just like go for textbook and they like kind of train you to do like tests, but they don't, like what my German teacher did was doing the scenarios and let us talk and just like do like games or whatever, like try to expose us or like make, you know, we had like business Spanish as well. So it was like, oh, like, okay, someone goes out of the room and then we have a phone call and we're gonna do this. So I love this kind of teaching style. And in Korea, it's really just like textbook. You don't even interact with other people.
You just read and multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks.
They learn how to memorize. Spaced repetition and memory techniques. Linear linguistics use spaced repetition systems, SRS, like Anki and the Leitner system to reinforce vocabulary.
Basically like Duolingo.
Yes, literally. Mnemonic devices or memory places help in remembering vast amounts of vocabulary quickly.
What is mnemonic devices? Like a mind map? So I think it's like you need to connect the memorized words to other things. Either to like you visualize it or you make acronyms.
You have to use it in different situations.
Because I cannot just repeat a word 20 times and remember it. I have to link it to something.
But I think it depends on person because like, you know, the different learning styles. Like some people, they learn best when they, like for me, example, when they like visualize it or like they speak it. Or for me, I have to write it, everything down.
I make weird connections.
Yeah, repetition like this never works for me. I have to see it in the situation and like in real life. And then if I memorize it for like 2 hours and then I go out, I can't remember it.
Listening and speaking from day one, fair, necessary. Heavy emphasis on listening to native speakers and practicing pronunciation early. Shadowing techniques, repeating after native audio help with fluency. And conversational practice is prioritized over rote memorization. That's what I do and what I tell everybody. I'm like, if you want to learn a language, you have to listen. You have to try to repeat after them.
I feel like shadowing is like really a good technique. If you're in your room alone and you're just like, I don't know, sing a song, like you turn on your favorite like song and then just like, you know, when you're a kid and you don't know English, but you still like mimic, you're just like,
yes,
just like do that.
Yes. But I mean, like people from any country, they just go like, if I get what you mean, that's fine, and they keep going. I feel like more people should do that.
But I feel like it's also not possible for native speakers to correct you every single time. But also, like the best thing about listening to native speakers is the context, how you use certain phrases.
Yes,
because it's gonna sound natural.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what you learn in the textbook is not what people use in real life in any language.
Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
And you.
And you. Yes. Cutting edge technology. Military specific apps focus on situational vocabulary relevant to operations, which makes total sense to this context. Like, really.
Honestly, I think the third one is the most important one.
Yeah,
Because if that's the field they're gonna work in, those are words you don't use in daily life. Like talking with a commoner won't help.
Have you guys used ChatGPT to practice?
All the time.
Yet?
For me, it's like if I don't know a word or like I don't know how to really express something well, I feel like AI is really good at like explaining. Or like Hello Talk, like I use that function and I'm like, oh, how do I say this naturally? Like to ask like people or like AI. But like I saw actually a YouTuber, he's like Korean, and he was like, oh, I kind of want to learn Spanish, and he made this program, I think for 1 month, only learning like Spanish with ChatGPT, I think, with some AI. And it was like okay level actually. Like I mean, you have to still follow the plan that the AI gives you, and it's kind of like
very rigid.
but like he could talk to some certain point. Like it was not that bad, to be honest, his progress.
I particularly use it all the time. I'm like, hey chat, I'm feeling like my level, whatever language is dropping. Like I want to talk to me in the language. Whenever I make a mistake, point it out. Like let me know when I make a mistake and like fix it in a way that makes more. And then I keep going like chatting. I'm like, okay, I want to talk about this today. And then we go chatting. It's like nice. It's actually a good tool. I don't know why people don't use it as often.
What voice do you guys use?
Yeah, and if not the voice, like even just texting, because like sometimes I'm on the subway or something, like it gets a little awkward. Cultural and contextual learning. Beyond grammar and vocabulary, students learn about culture, customs, dialects, and slang to understand how language is used in a real-world context, which is necessary, let's be honest.
So real, yeah.
And training includes body language, etiquette, and regional variations.
So important.
Whoa, that's so important.
That's really detailed, yeah.
Yes, because like for example, Brazilians, when you're talking to them, if you're talking like in a monotone, like super like calm and like not using your hands or talking, as you can see that I do a lot, it feels like you're angry. And like, people will think like you're being rude or just angry, and you're like, did you not like us? Like, did we make you uncomfortable or something? And we're like, no, I'm okay. I'm just like talking normally. For example, when we're talking and be like, oh, which one do you prefer, this? And you're like, what the hell does that mean? That means like any option is fine. That's what it matters, what it means. Do you guys also have like this sort of like signs that you use in your languages?
I don't know about your experience, but I feel like Germans don't really use a lot of like head movements, to be honest. Like it was like, it's totally different than you. But I feel like Germans use a lot of sarcasm. And like, I love sarcasm. I love sarcasm and I use it all the time. But like Koreans, they don't get it. For real, they don't know what sarcasm
I don't
is.
get German sarcasm, like because they say it with such a poker face that you're like, are you serious or being sarcastic? And they're like, no, I'm being sarcastic. Oh, thank God, because you also know that they don't lie, so I can actually trust what they're saying. But I think also for Indonesians, it's like the directness. You're not direct, but Germans are very direct. So that kind of cultural difference,
That's so
it was in the beginning. It was a culture shock. So
no, but because like for me, I'm like I don't really, I don't think about it that we're direct. But like even to some of my friends, like I just like talk openly, or like the other way around. When someone talks like indirectly to me, I'm like, what do you mean? Like I don't get it. And then they're like, oh, I actually that's what I meant. I'm like, especially like, really my Korean friends, they don't really say what they want. They are like really they say it in like I don't know, like really go around and I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. Like if you just like say it to me like what you want, but like I don't know.
yeah, but you see, that can be a very big problem when it comes to like negotiations between countries.
It needs to be clear, the cultural nuance.
Yeah. For example, one thing that I watch a lot of videos of like foreigners who are living in Brazil and like they're learning about like Brazilian culture, right? And a lot of them complain that Brazilians don't say no. And I was like, what? We do? No, actually we don't. We never say no. We answer like with the verb. For example, are you going? Going. Like something like that, and that means like yes, I'm going or something. And like that makes people really confused culture-wise. Dang, if you don't learn that when you're going to have a conversation, such an important conversation, that would be such a big problem. Like generally. High-stakes testing and constant assessment. Linguists must pass the Defense Language Proficiency Test that measures reading and listening skills. The goal is to reach at least ILR level 2+, limited working proficiency or higher.
But if you only have limited working proficiency, can you actually work as a translator?
Translator, no. You can work in the country though.
Or like with, again, something very specific.
So I feel like you could learn at least level 4 in 1 year, one-year program, right?
I think people could definitely like use those tips or like this method that they use in the military like to learn languages, because that makes total sense. Like we can see points that are necessary for people to learn languages that usually they skip because they want to go slow, and it's like, I know you want to get slow, you can do it slowly, but don't forget to focus on these areas too. You have to do it, and it's not because you're going on a slower pace that you should not do it.
But I feel like the programs are very similar to language programs in like normal.
Yes.
That we normally do, like, and also the language learning methods like immersion, exposure, spaced repetition. The only difference is that they use it in the military context, which we don't.
Yeah.
But that's it. Everything else, like, we can also implement it to our own language learning.
I feel like that's a good guidance, like just remembering, like, I don't know, talk to yourself, like watch a lot of like dramas, listen to music or something, exposure, even if you're maybe not in the country yourself. Like,
Thinking in the target language is really good too.
Absolutely, methods approved. Both. I do think it's very intensive, but both are approved. So today we reviewed how militaries learn language in the US.
If you like this video, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
see you next time. Bye.